Hey guys, I'm gonna do my October wrap-up video today, and I know it is the 30th of October, but I really don't see myself finishing any other books in the next couple of days. I am a bit sick, so bear with me. So I'm just going to go through the books that I have. I have some physical copies and some I've already taken back to the library. I'm pretty sure I've done reviews on the majority of these books anyway, that you can find on my channel. Okay, so I'll go through the ones that I have first at hand. So the first one is that I read, most of these ones I actually finished off this month, which I've been kind of playing catch up, or ones that I almost finished at the end of the month in September but didn't. So yeah. So I read The Right to Write by Julia Cameron, one of my favourite writing books that I have. I really love Julia Cameron's style and her positive outlook on writing and her just do it nature. It's really just what I need, and I also really love the exercises in the book as well, as you can see. I don't need to go into too much detail because I have a video up, but this one got 5 stars, so I'm going to read it again, guys, tons of times. Probably not until next year, but yeah, as you can see, it's one of those books that I'll be flicking through and doing things through as well. So if you are a writer, definitely pick up this book. The next book that I read and loved, which got a 4.5 stars, was Past Midnight by Mara Pernhagen, and I read this for Richard Denny's book club, and I really enjoyed this book. I love the narration, I love the concept. It was creepy for me, going through these things, some of these things myself. I really love the aspect of ghosts and ghost hunting, and it scares the shit out of me, but I still love reading about it. I really loved all the characters in this book, even though the parents were a little bit lackluster. Again, I have a review up for this, but definitely a book that if you are wanting to read something a bit lighter, definitely pick it up. For me it was scary, but it was really like a fun read for me, so it was exactly what I needed at the time that I was reading it, and like I said, that one got a 4.5. Then I read Clary by Kim Harrington, and this one got a 5. I fucking love this book, guys. I really, really love this book. You know, you tell me about psychics or telepaths or anything like that, and I'm going to jump at it. I love this theme. I love that kind of stuff. And I love the mystery behind it. I love Perry, Clarity, and her sort of sassy, well, she had a sassy nature in some senses, but she was very determined as well, and very family orientated despite everything. And I really enjoyed this book. I'm definitely going to be reading Perception. I think that's the next one, Perception. Probably next year, or if not later this year. But I really enjoyed this book. I would recommend this 100%. Fantastic. So the other books that I read this month were Revive by Kat Patrick. Now that one was a bit of a weird one because I went into it much like a lot of people, and it was supposed to be a sci-fi book, but to me it felt more contemporary, so I really just had to take it as a contemporary, and I found a lot of people after I read the review, after I read the book and read some reviews, felt the same way. It does have some really great science fiction like concepts in it, especially the whole Revive project, and that was interesting, but I think it was more about the character growth, and while I did enjoy that, I would have more so enjoyed it for the science fiction element, because that's why I picked it up. So yeah, I gave that book a 4. I gave it a 4, and it was a really good book. I would recommend it, but go into it knowing that it's more like a contemporary rather than a science fiction. So if you don't really like romance or contemporary, then maybe look elsewhere, but definitely give it a shot, guys, definitely do. The other book that I read was The Testimony, and I have done a review for this book too. Now, The Testimony pretty much fucked up the rest of my reading for this month in regards to horror books, because I picked it up and I thought, yep, I can get through this, it's going to be okay, I've read things about this topic before, I'm really fascinated with it. I didn't really know how much of an impact the actual book itself was going to have on me, and how horrific it actually was. And it kind of led me down a little bit of a path that I should have prepared myself for, but didn't prepare myself for. And I think when you're reading those kinds of books that deal with humanitarian issues and war and the grotesque and horrific things that happened, especially during the Holocaust, that you need time to process it. And I do not apologize for not being able to get to my other books that were in my Halloween pile, because I learned something very great from this book. I think you should all read it. I think you should all read any book that is based around this time period and educate yourselves with it, because we need to know these things. So, for sure, please pick this book up. It's The Testimony by Helena Wasaka. I can't say her name now, but I have a review up. And like I said, if you want to read something scary, that's scary. That is freaking horrific. That was just totally just messed my mind up completely. And I tried to read some of Unaddressed in Blood straight after, and so I'm having a bit of trouble reading Unaddressed in Blood, because I think I picked it up a little bit too soon after I read that book. So I'm slowly making my way through it. I really do like Unaddressed in Blood, but yeah, Testimony, well, threw me off completely. But I loved every minute of it, and that was 5-star. I read Writing Down the Bones, and I have it over there. I completely forgot to pick it up, but my brain is just like, no, it's okay. Everyone has probably seen me do a review on my channel about 2-3 times about this book. Writing Down the Bones, much like Julia Cameron's The Right to Write, is a writing book that is not a how-to book, but more of an inspiration and how she writes and her way of writing. And she talks about students. She gives you short exercises. It's a writing lifestyle. And it's passionate, and I love it. She inspires me so much. It's by Natalie Goldberg. This one also gets a 5-star, because whenever I read it, I just feel, yes, I am on the right track with my writing. Like, I don't need to focus so much on the bad side of things. I should just write because I'm passionate about it, because I love it, and I want to share that with people. So that was one of the reasons why I got a 5. So Writing Down the Bones is a fantastic book, guys. If you are, again, a writer, or even if you're not, it's fantastic. And I think the last book that I read this month was Creating Fate by Rachel Firasek, and that is a novella. It is the first in a trilogy, I believe, called the Unspun Trilogy. This was about the Fates. It is about the Fates and gods and Greek mythology and sexy times. No, I really love this book. It did get a 4 stars because it's not the most fantastic book I've ever read by Rachel, but it packs a punch, guys. It's freaking fantastic. The main 2 characters are Dane and Chloe, and I can't remember their names, but they were fantastic, and their chemistry and the dynamic of the relationship that grows over the span of the novella is really just, I love it. And I love the fast-paced nature of it. I love getting to know the characters. I love how Rachel kind of has that impact. She makes me feel for the characters. She puts 2 completely opposite characters together, yet at the same time they are just so good for each other, even though they're so bad for each other. So it's just, and it's a romance erotic, well, not really erotic, but I don't think it's erotic, but it's a romance novel with a fantasy elements and things like that. It's freaking fantastic, guys. If you haven't ever checked out Rachel Firasek's work, do it. It's like very cheap. Her books are very cheap on Amazon. She's a fantastic writer. Her world building and her characters and her spin on mythology is, I loved it. I love her writing, and I will shout it to the moon and back. Probably not now because I'm sick, but yeah. So I think that's all the books that I've read in October. I'm sorry I didn't have pictures or anything like that, guys. I'm just really tired. But I really wanted to get this up for you guys so you knew my wrap up, and just that I think majority of the books are on, I've done a review for them anyway. So yeah, so these are the books that I have got here. Fantastical. And hopefully by the start of next month you'll have a review for Anna Dressed in Blood, and whatever book comes after that. So and it's November soon, so NaNoWriMo, so a little bit of mixture of both. I guess you've already seen that on my channel, that I've made lots of videos relating to Nano. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Thanks to my new subscribers and my old, and I hope that you guys have a fantastic reading month in November, and I can't wait to see your wrap up videos for October and your to be read piles for November too. Okay, bye guys.